It's been said it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. When it comes to the widely used personality models out there, I was that old dog. Let's have ourselves a pocket sized pep talk, and I'll tell you the new trick I really did need to learn.
A Pocket Sized Pep Talk, the podcast that can help energize your business and your life with a quick, inspiring message. Now, here's your host, Rob Jollis.
It's a little embarrassing to admit, but I was never fond of the various personality models that appeared over the years. These were the programs that identified various personality types and provided insight into the things about yourself that I just never quite understood before. So for a period of time, it seemed as if every company I worked for was investing in these programs to help them sell more effectively. After all, once you went through this extensive multi-page assessment, you had a pretty accurate understanding of what motivates you, what demotivates you, how you want to be managed, strengths, weaknesses of selling, and much, much, much more. Personally, I fought these programs for one stubborn reason. I felt the information I was gaining from these assessments was absolutely perfect, as long as I was selling me for the rest of my life. I also felt the information was aimed at the wrong person. I'm as interested as the next guy to learn more about myself and be a better person, but quite frankly, I didn't want this to be about me. I wanted this to be about the person sitting across from me. So I treated these programs with disdain, often claiming, "Who needs them? I can't go to my client and say, pardon me, would you mind taking this assessment so I can figure out how to sell you more effectively?" In my book, this conversation about personality had no business in the trenches with real sales training. Actually, it was insulting to me that these models even dared to try and pass themselves off as sales models. And then I realized I was wrong. So often, I would field questions from audience members, and I would hear things like, "How long should I spend chit-chatting with a client before I move into the business side of things?" Well, wouldn't that depend on the personality of the client? The fact is that I needed these personality models, and I appreciated their attention to learning more about individual human behavior. But those personality models needed more attention to skills that taught true selling techniques as well. Full personality assessments are great as management tools and wonderful to show family and friends at parties, but they won't be a lot of help when you're training your eyes on someone else you're meeting for the first time. What will work is studying how someone dresses, how an office or home office environment is set up, or even learning to read personality from emails and voicemails. These kind of reads will give you a head start, and your early questions will allow you to fine tune your assessment. In the real world, many personality reads are made on the fly, so it's extremely difficult to juggle the level of detail in a multi level assessment. You don't need as much in depth assessments. I think there's just three personality types will cover all the bases for you. They're dominant, analytical, and social personalities. Our natural behavior is to try and communicate with people with whom we would naturally feel comfortable, people who are like us. Unfortunately, when you're trying to persuade someone else, it's his or her personality that matters. And that means communicating in the way that person would like to be communicated with.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please rate and recommend it on iTunes, Outcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information on this show and Rob at jollis.com.